The Walkerville Cats looking to build on an impressive victory last week. And the Glenelg Rebels looking to continue to grow as a team. It's a young, feisty Glenelg Rebels team. Welcome to Softball South Australia and beautiful Ghana land. It's time for live softball action, everybody. Eric Ballnar, James Harris, Lee Hull, welcome inside the commentary booth. Boys, I'm looking forward to a good afternoon. It's a triple header of softball today.
Yep, unprecedented. We're bringing you 3 games today, so we'll warm into things, I think, and what better way to start than Glenelg Rebels versus Walkerville Cats?
Lee, Glenelg, they're a young team. They're back in the competition this year. What have you made from Glenelg? I know they haven't won a game yet, but what have you made from them in the early parts of the season?
Well, they seem to be finishing off games well, Eric and James, and they've got the advantage of the most experienced pitcher here in the Premier League in Jade Peterson. So that's a start. What she needs is somebody to be behind her, like a field defensively, and somebody to do the hitting, because they come back late. They need to start early and continue it.
Meanwhile, Walkerville, they got shelled in their first game, to be totally honest. They lost big time. Yeah, in the second game, they came out guns a-blazing, and they ended up with a big victory over West Torrance in a big victory. So what do you make of Walkerville in the early stages?
Yeah, Walkerville are going to be pretty dangerous with the bat throughout the entire year. It's their defense that needs to hold up. They've probably given the amount of runs that they've got so far, and I think that will probably be the theme for Walkerville throughout the year. So once they can tidy up that defense a little bit, get behind the young pitchers of Yankovic and Riley Moore, they'll be contender come March.
Are you surprised that their defense has been what it is the first few weeks? Because on paper, they have a lot of really good athletes on this team with a lot of softball experience.
Yeah, I am, because that was an abomination, wasn't it, if that's a word. But I couldn't believe I was seeing what I saw in that game, and they've got some very experienced fielders in that side, Walkerville, so you wouldn't expect them to go off the ball.
Well, here's a look at the last time that we saw Glenelg. This was the last time they were in the competition versus Seacombe way back when. Their team has changed a little bit since then. Jade Peterson obviously has moved over from Seacombe, but that Glenelg team, they weren't so bad. But here they are with a good look at some old school highlights of the Rebels.
Yeah, Rebels have got some pretty handy players throughout their lineup. A couple of young names that are coming through as well. But the experience of Meegan Wheatley, Jade Peterson, and Tamika Penglace in the middle of the order there as well. But Gemma Cochrane as well. So they've got some pretty handy bats throughout their lineup, some good leadership in Bree McGee as well. So Courtney Shepard has been on fire for the Glenelg bats throughout the season as well. She's picked up 3 hits already.
Got a hit from Johanna Grau up the middle. Not too many people can claim that when you're a young player.
Broke up the no-hitter. Just go back defensively and what the difference for the Walkerville Cats that we were talking about before is their pitchers aren't strikeout pitchers. You can see 12 strikeouts on the season for their pitchers, and Yankovic you'll see in the screen there with 9, whereas Jade Peterson on the flip side's got 29 strikeouts for Glenelg.
Sophie Roberts over at third base in this game. Jenny Gray over at first. You know, you talk to Andy Collette, the coach of Walkerville, loves the versatility of Jenny Gray. She gets the spot start over at first with Kelsey Barker as the DP today. Yes,
that's interesting. The girl from Central District, she plays up there as well. So she's obviously on permit down here or vice versa. But she's got some talent, Kelsey. So I'm looking forward to see what she does with the bat.
In the circle, Mikayla Yankovic.
Yeah, Mikayla is still in her teens, so developing pitcher, and she's just been handed that baton, hasn't she, to, all right, here's your chance to be a leader for this team. She was at Port Adelaide last year and had that breakout game against Sturt, who were the eventual premiers, but she returns home to Walkerville. She started at Walkerville before a change to Port Adelaide. There you can see her stats on screen. ERA of 10 is, you know, a bit blown out because of the it's only early days. That'll settle and that'll drop, but 15 hits in about 7 innings. She's got to get that down to at least 1 hit an inning.
Leading things off for Glenelg, Bree McGee. We'll get a look at their lineup in just a second, but McGee, Wheatley, and Shepard are due up, and we are almost underway with live softball action. Mikayla Yankovic has the ball, Bree McGee in the box, and we are underway with a first pitch strike settling into the game.
Yeah, that's always good for the pitcher to settle in with a strike first up and get into a groove. We'll go around the field in a sec, and Lee, you can tell us who the Blues are?
The Blues are on plate Kevin Tannering, Mr. T or KT. Does a lot of fine work up in the APY lands. The great man himself, Treblehoff.
Grounded towards Roberts. Makes the play across the diamond. An easy first out for Walkerville.
Treblehoff, Neville Lawrence on first base, and on third base, it's Ian, one shade of grey.
Sophie Roberts doing the work over at third base. She's one of the most underrated, versatile players. She can play corners. She can. You give her a job and she can do it.
No Ash Lapino today in the Walkerville lineup.
You got to look at that Glenelg lineup. The bottom of the lineup not really producing. No hits yet from 6, 7, 8, or 9. If they want to win some games, that will probably have to change, you'd think.
Yeah, most teams will stack their top order with their best batters. So some developing players for Glenelg in the bottom order. Courtney Shepard's up next. She's one of the young guns of this team.
Meegan Wheatley had a pretty esteemed junior career in South Australia, didn't she, as she steps into the box?
Successful under-19 champions they were. Wheatley, Caitlin Carroll, and Gemma Cochrane. And Tamika Penglaze was assistant coach, and she's playing on their team.
First strikeout of the day from Mikayla Yankovic. She's off to a good start, humming along. Courtney Shepard now up to bat. James, you just mentioned one of the rising stars of the competition.
Yeah, Courtney's been in and around the Glenelg team for a few years now, but you know she's just starting to blossom here for this A-grade side.
Yankovic again getting ahead early in strikes, or in strike counts rather.
Courtney catching to a person like Jade Peterson will learn so much from about this sport.
On the other end, it's young Mikayla Yankovic pitching to Team Australia player Chelsea Robinson.
Another one that was in the successful under-19s in 2015.
Right here in Adelaide.
Yep.
Shepard sits atop of the Glenelg team batting averages with 3 hits. She's also got 2 RBIs as well. That came late in the game against the Hills in an 8-3 loss. But yeah, handy to know she can hit with runners in scoring position.
Roberts again across the diamond. Quick work. 1, 2, 3 inning from Mikayla Yankovic and the Walkerville Cats. 2 5-3 putouts, and that will retire the side. And now we'll flip things over.
Someone's played a trick on us. Our scorecards have been stapled.
That would be the work of Lee Hall. I wish you could get that on camera of us trying to flip over the score sheet. But we've just got a blank page behind us. He did it right for himself, though. Yeah, defensively, though, this is how Glenelg will take the field. In the circle, Jade Peterson, one of the veterans of the game, throwing to Courtney Shepard. Outfield, Lappage, Penglaze, and Dodd, Mobius, Helbig, Wheatley, McGee, and Cochrane. Defensively, they're going to need to limit any kind of mistakes for them to have a chance in this game, you would think.
Yeah, clean defense is going to be one of the keys for Glenelg throughout the season. So as important it is to score runs, it's equally important to defend.
Jade Peterson walking into the circuit, the strikeout queen of South Australian softball. You'll get a look at her numbers, and she can mow them down, can't she? Already striking out almost 2 per inning.
Yeah, 29 strikeouts already, leads the league in strikeouts. They have played 4 games already, but she needs to work on the hits as well. So if she can strike out twice as many batters as she gives up hits, Glenelg will be laughing. But tough task with this batting lineup.
Yeah, you take a look at this batting lineup. 7, 8, 9, getting it done for Walkerville. But at the top of that list, Sophie King, who struggled with the bat last year. She bat just around the 100 mark last season. That was not a Sophie King season at all, for the record. But this year, flying out of the gates.
857, 6 from 7. 1 or 2 batters in the competition to do that. We will see Abby Jorgensen later playing for the Hills Heat. But Sophie King, I don't think there's a game that goes by that we broadcast that we don't praise how good a player she is.
And she leads things off. She's got some speed. Can she make contact with Jade Peterson? She throws a first pitch strike as well, and now Glenelg's defensive innings underway. Walkerville on the attack.
The advantage for Glenelg here is Jade has thrown to all of these batters over many years, the Walkerville batters.
Towards right field, Amber Dodd Mobius is the one that makes the catch. One down.
It's a tough position to play at the 2 o'clock time slot here at West Beach. The second first base usually struggle with fly balls, and so right field can struggle from time to time as well. So don't underestimate that catch because there's a bit of a swirly breeze as well. So good catch in these conditions.
Steph Collett steps into the batter's box, returning from college in the United States.
A national champion in the NAIA.
Watches that outside.
Oregon State. Jade throwing a 71% strike ratio, so it's pretty high, which explains the number of strikeouts and hits.
Yeah, if it's in the batter's box, you have a chance to hit him. She's behind to Steph Collett, who chops one foul.
Yeah, Lee, you mentioned before no Ash Lapino, so that gives Steph the chance to go up the order a bit.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite convinced that Ash is a number 2 hitter.
She'll do that a lot. A strikeout for Jade Peterson, number 30 on the season, and we're only 3 weeks in.
Well, as I said, Eric and James, that Jade's pitched a lot of these batters for over a lot of games, and so she knows what they can do, what they're looking for. She just doesn't want to give it to them.
Chelsea Robinson, always a big hitting threat, member of the senior national team, the Aussie Spirit.
Hitless in game 1 against Growl, but 3 for last week against West Torrens, so she's sitting 429 average.
Quality player, isn't she?
Solid behind the plate. She can also play some infield if required. That slips away. No damage done, though. It just goes down as a ball. Nobody on base.
The respect that Glenelg defense is showing Chelsea is, have a look how deep their outfield are. She makes good contact. It's going a distance.
Trouble with that is that she can take extra bases as well because she's fast.
That's it.
And she was swinging for one there.
Swinging from the rafters, they say, don't they?
Robinson has a crack. Drifts foul.
Peterson took a little bit off that one, 71 Ks for a change-up. Not a bad idea just to mix it up a little bit when you're that far ahead of the count.
You can't throw the same pitches to these strong batters. They'll catch up with you.
Two count, 2 outs. Nobody's been on base in the game so far. Was lost in the sun a little bit. Gemma Cochrane couldn't find it. It was an out there for the taking, and you give second life to somebody you don't really want to give a second chance to. And Chelsea Robinson, there's a look at the leading team's replay. Just lost in the sun ever so slightly.
As James mentioned, problem at this time of day on that side of the diamond.
But Peterson gets her anyways. 2 strikeouts in a 1-2-3 inning for Jade Peterson and the Glenelg Rebels. And they'll hold Walkerville scoreless after 1.
Peterson just cranked it up, 92 Ks an hour for that strikeout, so hovering around about the 90 K mark, and then just gave it a little bit extra, didn't it, she, for that strikeout on Chelsea Robinson.
Well, Glenelg have only scored 5 runs this season, and they've played 4 games. They've allowed 33. One thing they need to see is that bottom of the lineup yet to have a hit. 6, 7, 8, and 9 will start to enter at least that part of the lineup this inning. But they say hitting's contagious, so you figure a couple hits might be able to get them going.
Yeah, the 2 veterans of the team, Peterson and Penglaze, to start things off, so perhaps the experience can get them off to a good start in this inning.
Yes, that's what they'd be hoping, wouldn't they?
Kayla Yankovich, both pitchers working a 1-2-3 inning to start this game. Walkerville with a 1-1 record. Glenelg winless in their first 4, trying to get off the schneid and into the win column.
Yeah, although early days, it's 4 teams on 2 points on the ladder. Hills undefeated in 2 games on 4 points, and at top of the table is Port Adelaide, 3 games, 3 wins, 6 points.
What a game that's going to be, game 2, isn't it?
Top 4 of 6 make the finals. Can't make the finals in October, but you can certainly play a role in missing them in a very tight season. Walkerville, on paper, a game that they need to have over Glenelg. Jade Peterson, the veteran.
Yeah, got a good hit against Steph Trzynski, an RBI shot on Wednesday night.
Yes. It was impressive, wasn't it?
It broke the deadlock. It was going to be a mercy. I think they were down to their last out, or one of the last 2 outs. And
last pitch, I believe, and we went an extra 13 minutes.
Yankovic tries to mix things up.
Because Glenelg, West Torrens, correction, came in and hit 4 more runs.
Down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes after racing ahead 0-2. The veteran working herself back into account. Hard hit. Picked up by Jenny Gray, and it's an easy out for Walkerville.
yeah, it came straight to her. You like those ones in the infield, but Peterson put up a good battle. Yet to see a base runner.
Tamika Penglaze up to bat. Like you said, James, right in the middle of the lineup. 2 very veteran hitters. For the 5th straight batter, she's only faced 5. Yankovic is ahead with a first pitch strike.
That's what happens, doesn't it? When you get disappointed, you should have swung at the first, and it showed on Tamiga's face that she's going to have a dip at the next one. She did.
In and out of the lineup, Lee Penglaze only played 2 of their 4 games.
Yep.
Is it work commitments or?
Well, I don't know, James, but a couple of years ago, she was a terrific puller of the ball. Used to belt the ball out the left field fence often. That's maybe 3 seasons ago. So, no, I don't know, maybe work commitments. Had a child in the meantime, hasn't she?
Chopped in foul territory, bobbled a little bit by Sophie Roberts. She cannot believe it.
Catch was made. She probably just lost it right at the last moment. Chelsea Robinson, here we go on the leading team's replay. They were both going to get it, but Roberts called her out and juggled a catch.
She's pretty sure-handed, old Chelsea Robinson, off the chest and into the glove. Chelsea Robinson was right there to catch the deflection.
They had it covered.
Cochrane picked up by Collett. Across the diamond, another 1-2-3 inning. 6 up, 6 down for Mikayla Yankovic and the Walkerville Cats. A very quick start defensively. And we head to the middle of the second, still no score.
Yeah, pretty tight game so far. Both fields contributing. The pitchers haven't been overly dominant, but what have we seen? 3 strikeouts so far out of the 9.
And 6 first pitch strikes now thrown for Mikayla Yankovic. She's got ahead in counts very early on. Middle of the lineup, Desi Giamorales, Sophie Roberts, and Kelsey Barker. Those are 3 women that can hit the ball hard.
Yes, looking forward to this. I don't think this score of 0-0 will remain.
In this inning, you think they'll get a run here?
I think so, yep.
Lee has been known, if this is your first time listening to live softball action at Softball SA, Lee's been known to make a few predictions, and they've come off more often than not.
I have no comment to make on that, as I'm too modest.
Up high, ball 1.
Well, further to what you said, Eric, I'd just like to finish with that I've been here in January. I'll be 47 years at this sport. If I haven't been paying attention, then when am I going to start?
Quickly ahead, 3-0. Desi Giamorales in years past has been an on-base machine.
Reliable batter for the Cats over the years.
Does she have a walk this season yet?
I'll check my sheet there. 1 hit by pitch.
Giamorales has a crack. Aiden Lapage bobbles the ball, and it might be costly because it's a runner in scoring position for Desi Giamorales and the Walkerville Cats.
It was tight to the line, and Lapich had to make up a lot of ground to get to the foul line to try to attempt to catch. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay. Looks like she does take it in fair territory. Was it the transition maybe is how it popped out? And that's might be why Coach Nat Brinkworth is asking the question. Desi Giamorales on screen, leading team's replay, stands up at second.
Yeah, it's a good look at the leading team's replay. Did she make the catch and then the ball just bounce out? We'll get a good look at it on camera. Nat Brinkworth is talking to the umpire about it. Let's see if we can see that again. We got to trust producer Brandon's going to show. Look at this. This is great. Super slow motion.
She made good ground to get to the position, didn't she, to catch it?
Looks like it's there in the glove, and then as she goes to take it out, may have bobbled out.
Yeah, it fell out. Yep, that's fine.
So is that a catch or is this the right call?
Correct call. You've got to take the ball out. Physically take the ball, remove the ball.
Or at least run with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Sophie Roberts swings through.
Yeah, what Cats can make Rebels pay for that mistake as well with the lead-off runner on second. Meter the lineup up to bat.
And this girl can hit a long ball and hard too.
Dual sport athlete Sophie Roberts.
Good pitch that was.
Exceptional cricket player.
Indoor cricket, yeah, and so she can do it. If she's playing indoor cricket, she can do it all, can't she? She can field, bat, and bowl. So it'd be interesting to see her play. I reckon it'd be fun to watch some softballers play cricket.
Yeah, well, they say baseball and cricket are similar games, i.e. Ian Chappell, or both the Chappells played baseball at the high level, Alan Border, the same, so they complement one another, I believe.
3 strikeouts now for Jade Peterson after Sophie Roberts is retired. Just the first out of the inning, should be 2. Kelsey Barker comes up trying to make the Rebels pay.
Just checking the stat sheet, doesn't look like she's had that bat yet, so the Cats just using the 9 batters so far this year, and Ashley Pino out of the game gives her the opportunity.
She's ahead early, Kelsey Barker. Jenny Gray stands on deck. Finds the plate.
Such a good pitcher, isn't she, Jade? She gets back in the count. She gets behind in the count, gets back in, gets on top, and then eventually strikes you out. See how it goes here.
And she's worked her way all the way back from being 2-0 behind to having things evened up.
My point exactly.
4 strikeouts. Only 5 outs made in the game so far.
That was her fastest pitch of the game as well,
Yep.
93 Ks.
I thought she was quick on Wednesday night. Seemed to have a fair bit more pace Wednesday night early.
Well, they should have all 3 outs this inning. But Jenny Gray still with a chance to do some damage for Walkerville. Desi Giamorales still at second base.
It's not pace, is it? It's just experience with Jade. She just knows the batters.
1-1. And a good job from Jenny Gray to leave off that pitch.
Good batter when she's going, Jenny. I think she batted 364 in the under-17 Nationals here. Huge stats. A couple of years ago now.
Jade Peterson 1 strike away from striking out the side and making it 5 straight outs with strikeouts. But staying alive, Jenny Gray.
The thing is with Jade, if you're batting, you get ahead in the count and then you know she's going to come back into the count.
High hit
Not
in
easy.
the air. It's a soft spot. Moving under it, Tamika Penglaze charges on, makes the out. And despite an early gaffe in the inning, Glenelg hold the damage and it remains 0-0 through 2 innings.
Well done to the Glenelg defense holding up there with the leadoff batter getting to second base and leaving us stranded in that spot. So well done to Glenelg, and a great catch from Penglaze. She came running in. She had to go full tilt there to make it, and she ended up taking a good catch in the end.
Still no hits and no walks in this game. Only 1 runner has reached base, but now the bottom of the lineup, who's yet to find that hit. Lappage, Helbig, and Botha need to get something rolling.
Yeah, I don't know Kayla Botha too well. I think this is probably her first go at the A grade. So it'll be interesting to see. Somebody did tell me she was the daughter of the famous South African cricket.
Well, yeah, Johan Botha.
Botha.
Johan Botha for a couple years was playing local baseball and
cricket.
But you would have seen him, James, you and I, when we were working in the same office down here, you would come into the hitting lanes and he would be working on his baseball skills in the hitting lane.
I just wonder whether it is his daughter.
And if it is, it's probably pronounced Belter. Is that right? Is that the South African pronunciation?
I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure. Botha, I think. I think he pronounced it Botha, like.
It'd be cool if we could figure that out. Either way, it's Eden Lappage up to bat.
Haven't seen Eden before this season.
Her dad played a little bit of men's softball
Okay.
for the Glenelg Rebels.
Glenelg Rebels, yes. I remember playing for them many years ago.
Mikayla Yankovic again ahead. That's 7 batters now in a row. She's thrown that first pitch strike for, something that in the first broadcast game a couple weeks ago she had some trouble with, and today she's got 2 strikeouts and it's 7 up, 7 down.
Now that pitch went east of Eden, I think, that last one.
Laura Helbig up to bat. A transfer over to Glenelg.
Played at third base and did a good job on Wednesday evening.
We get a few viewers from the Gawler District Softball Association, where Laura hails from.
Okay.
Has one of 2 females to win the home run derby at the Senior State Championships as well.
Right. Let's see if she's got one there with her name on it.
And she proudly boasts that one year she beat Belle White.
As you would.
Absolutely.
Oh yes, I think I'd retire if I did. Retire at the top.
Can we set that up? A Belle White versus Lee Ho home run derby?
Oh really? I don't think they're going to bring the fence in for me.
Outside, 2-2 count.
I think we're into our 10th year of the MC Sportswear Home Run Derby.
It's been going a while.
The prize provided by our friends at MC Sportswear.
Terrific sponsors of ours, haven't they been for a long time? Mikayla's just trying to buy an out then.
She had to think, Laura Helbig.
Yeah, fishing, she was fishing.
Full count. Glenelg yet to have a base runner. They're a ball away or a swing of the bat away. And Laura Helbig, a patient approach. And for the first time today, Glenelg have a runner aboard.
Very good turn at bat from Laura, wasn't it?
Kayla Botha up to bat.
Batting is the DP. For Amber Dodd-Mobius. It's a good pitch, that, isn't it? Down on the knees. All you're going to do if you make contact is ground out to the infield.
I think that was going to go foul.
Yeah.
I think she was shouldering arms then, and the ball.
Like her dad.
Yep. Gee, he was a good player, wasn't he? Especially for South Australia, he did a lot.
We better find that out before we keep
yeah.
claiming her as the daughter.
Well,
Botha swings through it. And that should be a strikeout. She's not so sure about it. She has a big smile. So the third strikeout in the second this inning from young Mikayla Yankovic.
Well, they say cricketers aren't in the habit of walking, and Kayla was sort of in the two minds then too.
Bree McGee steps in back at the top of the lineup. She grounded out in her first turn at bat.
The dancing queen, she's known as.
Is she?
Bree McGee.
Why
yes.
is that?
Oh, she's a terrific dancer. She's not doing it now, obviously because she's got older, I guess. I was talking to her today.
Grounded towards short. Steph Collette picks it up, scoops and fires. And the side is retired. So just the one walk conceded by the Walkerville Cats, but they've been effective through the first time of the lineup as we get to the bottom of the third. We've had a runner in scoring position once in this game, but defense is reigning supreme here. So the bottom of the lineup gets to go to work, and it's a handy bottom of the lineup for Walkerville, and one that was certainly churning it out versus West Torrens the last time out. Bianca Ramsey, Aaron Reed. We'll try to table set, get aboard for Sophie King, who's been on a great start so far this season. See back out in the circle. Jade Peterson, already 4 strikeouts, true to her average entering the game. She had 29 strikeouts in 15 1/3 innings pitched. Now she's off to a good start.
She's one of these girls that plays baseball as well as softball, Bianca Ramsey. A lot of the softball girls mix it up with the baseball.
A lot of dual sports athletes.
Yep. Got to do it while you can, I guess, Eric.
Swings through the pitch.
Remember a couple of seasons ago, James, you would have remembered this, that she got a couple of hits in the grand final. They were cracking shots.
Austin and Ashley. Johan is married with 2 children, so might not be related, guys. Bianca Ramsey, though, yes, definitely a strong hitter for a lower order batter for the Cats.
Let's just play this game then. So is she the daughter of Gordon?
Definitely not. Definitely not. She's on TV, isn't she?
The cook. Since we're just assuming everything, as she gets struck out, 5 strikeouts from Jade Peterson now. Aaron Reed will step in. You can see how fired up the Glenelg defense was after that. Jade Peterson giving them a good chance in this ballgame.
She's on pace to break all records, I reckon, for strikeouts. She's killing it, the veteran, so far this season.
34 strikeouts now on the season and entering the game. What was it, 15 1/3 innings pitched?
It's about control, isn't it? When you're pitching, that's fine. You haven't got the pace, then you need to have control. Mix it up.
Walkerville, a team that does have a lot of hitting talent as well. It's just the first time through the lineup for both of these teams. We'll see how things change and what adjustments they make as they turn it over.
Very similar, isn't it? One person each on base.
Desi G. Morales was standing on second with no outs, but then strikeout, flyout ended the threat back in the second inning. Walkerville couldn't even advance the runner to third. Aaron Reed stays alive by chopping that foul. 3-2 count.
Yeah, interesting. 5 strikeouts so far, but 3 fly balls against Peterson. Was a timeout called from the coach, or is it?
You can see Andy Collett having a bit of a chat with the umpiring crew.
One of a few coaches making their Premier League coaching debut, but she's been around for a while, under 23 state coach. In previous seasons, appointed Stars assistant coach this year. Won a under 17 premiership with Port Adelaide a couple of years back.
Swing and a miss and 7 strikeouts, or 6 strikeouts rather, for Jade Peterson. She goes first time through the order, allowing no hits, 3 flyouts, 2 flyouts, 6 strikeouts, and then the 1 error in the outfield.
And 2 in each inning as well. You're stoked for that kind of a performance from your pitcher.
Sophie King entered the game 6 for 7 to start the season. Jammed foul. Laura Helbig raced over there to have a look. It just scooted over the fence and out of play. So Peterson ahead very early on. 6 strikeouts already from the first time through the lineup, trying to get Sophie King. A very tough out in her own right. She makes contact and it's bobbled by Wheatley. It took a weird skip.
She hit it hard into the ground, and it on the second bounce, watch it on the leading team's replay. It's going to skip right up. Looks like a chopper there, and then bang.
Yep. No chance of getting that.
Is that scored as a hit or an error?
Well, you can't blame the fielder for that.
No, you can't blame the fielder for it, but she did make a play on it.
That's why.
Would have been a tough one to make with Sophie King hustling down the line.
Yeah, I scored as a hit because what can you do about that?
First hit of the game for either of the teams.
I might try and steal Sophie. No.
Call it in the air. Moving under it is Eden Lapidge. Lapidge holds it back and makes the out. The side retired. Just a 1 awkward bounce hit. We're through 3. Neither team has put a run on the board. It's Glenelg 0, Walkerville 0. A look at the leading team's replay.
Yeah, she was tracking back, wasn't she? And then at the last moment, she just had to stretch back with the flight of the ball and took a good catch. So retiring the end of the third inning, and it's a tied ball game, 0-0. I think so far throughout the season, we've seen in the Premier League games, teams have just jumped out. You know, early runs in the games have been the key, and there's only been a couple of games decided by a run. All the others have been, you know, by a handful or more. So this one's one of the tightest games of the season so far, and it's been a cracker so far in this game, with both pitchers standing up, both defenses standing up as well. Now it's just the offense, and I think the team with the best offense today could break it open in one inning.
Yes, I agree 100%.
78 runs have been scored so far in the Premier League competition across 11 games. So an average of just over 7 runs per game, a fairly high clip, but...
Yeah, Port Adelaide hogging the limelight with a third of those runs, 27 runs on the season.
They've been off to a great start. That's game number 2 of the doubleheader as Meegan Wheatley takes a pitch. That should be a great contest. Port Adelaide starting off 3-0, 2 wins versus the winless Glenelg and a win over Walkerville. Those are teams ranked 5 and 6 on the standings right now. They get a real test in the reigning premiers in Sturt today, don't they? The 2-time reigning premiers, we should say.
Yeah, they're so good defensively. They had a Premier League debut pitching performance from Poppy Carmen and only gave up 3 runs against a hot Heels Heat.
The Port Adelaide have been excellent this year. They fancy themselves as a decent shot, especially with Yo Grauer. Meegan Wheatley fouls that one away. It's a 1-2 count. Inside. Just the one base runner here in the 4th inning. These are 7-inning games, by the way, or an hour and a half. No new innings after an hour 25. We're not even at the halfway point of that yet. Wheatley chops it foul and stays alive. This is the middle of the lineup. We're here in the 4th inning. You don't know how many more times you're going to get to see it on a day like this so far. So they got to make this count. That one literally rolled in there, and it's a full count. Meegan Wheatley with a chance to do something here.
Yankovic's changeup hasn't been accurate, but it's been good to have that change of pace coming, so it's not just the same pitch coming at the batter every time. So if she can get a bit of control on that changeup, she can turn it into a weapon.
Swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts on the day for Mikayla Yankovic. She's increasing her average, I believe.
Yeah, 6 strikeouts on the season so far from her 2 starts at 42 batters faced. So, yeah, picking that strikeout percentage up massively here in this game.
Courtney Shepard grounded out to third base her last time up.
Our first look at the Rebels this season as she grounds over to the backhand side of Collett.
Good throw.
Jenny Gray completing the play at first.
It's been a challenge probably for both of these teams, fair to say. Fielding hasn't been the cleanest to the season so far, but today, other than a bobble probably in left field, it's been fairly good for both of these teams.
Yeah, there was a close one to call as well, that bobble out in the outfield, but yeah, blow for blow so far, and it's mostly been in the defense.
Third 6-3 put out of the game. This is going to be a tough one for Roberts, but she makes the play. Sophie Roberts charges in, picks it up, and fires across. This will be a nice to look at on the leading team's replay.
Yep, Sophie Roberts comes in to grab it, comes up firing, and gets it across for the third out. The third 1-2-3 inning for Walkerville, the only blemish, a base on balls.
Well, I think we'll head things down in just a second to David Muggleton, our sideline reporter. Dave, you there? How things going?
Not too bad there, guys. Just had a quick word with Coach Collette. She doesn't seem terribly concerned at the moment. Didn't really lay out a game plan, keeping the cards close to her chest, but a lot of adoration for Jade Peterson. Still one of the most intelligent pitchers in the league, she said.
You can certainly see that as Jade Peterson comes back out to do some work. You see her trotting to the circle. She's got 6 strikeouts through her 3 innings of work, but boy, oh boy, a really tough prospect in this inning with Chelsea Robinson, Desi Giamorales, and Sophie Roberts up to plate. And then if you pitch too many in the strike zone, they will turn on one.
Lee, how long until the short game comes into it, the surprise bunt or running bunt? I think Walkerville, through the meat of their lineup here, will have another go at it, but one of the teams soon is going to have to change their tactics, you'd say.
Yeah, you do, and we've seen teams this season already in the Premier League, not take advantage of getting a lot of people on base, not trying something different.
There's the bunt right there. The answer was how long? It's right here. Peterson with a throw, and here comes Robinson. She'll take a hard turn around first, and she's going from second. She's going to make a play for third, diving in there. And Chelsea Robinson was up and ready to go. You mentioned it earlier, James, the speed of Chelsea Robinson, something to watch, and she's all of a sudden standing at third.
With the wheels as well, let's have a look at the leading team's replay. Peterson does the fielding, and just the overthrow goes against the fence, and they almost had a play here at third, but the throw just a little offline, and Robinson slides into third, taking 2 bases on the mistake.
The Rebels got to be really tight now.
Right over towards Helbig. She holds the runner, throw down in the dirt. She's safe, and Chelsea Robinson sneaks in and scores a run. Heads up running from Chelsea Robinson as Walkerville up in front, and Desi Giamorales will stand safely at first after the bobble.
Yeah, it was just a little half hopper to Gemma Cochrane on the throw, so she had trouble picking it up. Good base run from Desi Giamorales, and graceful as you like, sliding into home was Chelsea Robinson for the first run of the game.
Well, after we praised the field, 2 little mistakes from Glenelg have Walkerville up in front.
And the problem is with the side, when you're playing against a side like Walkerville, they get on a bit of a run, they can sniff victory, and they'll come out swinging hard.
Roberts showing bunt.
Just checking to see what the field's doing, I think, then.
And what did she learn?
She learnt they were running in.
2-0 count, she pulled off at the last second. Sophie Roberts struck out. Showing bunt again, she gets called strike. Giamorales moving in.
No tag.
No tag. See the head shake over at second base?
Looked like she had a cold to me, but...
Leading team's replay of Chelsea Robinson's bunt, you'd almost give that a safe hit, I reckon, then the 2 bases on the wild throw.
Hard hit up the middle. Wheatley can't quite hold on. Giamorales has to scoot back to second. She returns over to third as her original trajectory. Another hard hit ball going Meegan Wheatley's way.
Gee, that was hit hard. Leading team's replay just skimmed off the glove of Wheatley. She had a good effort to get to glove to the ball, but Giamorales thought it was caught, so she was hustling back to second base. So runners at the corners for the Cats.
2 errors this inning has runners on first and third, and a run already scored and no outs for Kelsey Barker. Now the bottom of the lineup goes to work for the Cats, and the Rebels will just take a moment to reset and figure things out.
Gather their thoughts and think, yes, tight.
David Muggleton, you've got a report from the Glenelg Rebels head coach, Nat Brinkworth.
Yes, guys, I did speak to her just before those 2 runs came along, so she's probably got something different to say now. But as far as the Glenelg bats go, she was quite happy that they were making contact, just looking for a bit more power to find the gaps.
Testing a throw over at second again. Giamorales almost went down. It was picked off by Bree McGee as the row was going towards second. She kind of concedes the runner moving in. So 2 runners in scoring position.
Need the ball caught here in the outfield, but the outfielder going back. Okay.
With none out, I know the runners are in scoring position. You're going to keep the short game going?
Jade Peterson gets strikeout number 7. And the second one on Kelsey Barker.
Importantly for the Rebels, it's the first out of the inning. They've still got a bit of work to do to stop these 2 base runners from scoring.
Jenny Gray and a diving play from Helbig. What a catch. She'll play the run over at third.
Dives across to her left.
I don't know if it's an out, though.
Yeah, no outs. You'd say fielder's choice because she faked the throw to first and then decided to play the runner at third and nearly an out made.
She at least held the runner, but bases loaded for Bianca Ramsey. Head coach Andy Collette said she loves what Bianca Ramsey brings to this Cats team. Described her as infectious out in the outfield and her attitude towards the game. She's behind 0-2. Tough spot here for Walkerville. Glenelg haven't scored a lot of runs in their 4 games. Certainly need to limit the damage in a precarious situation they find themselves in. And that will help. The 8th strikeout of the day, continuing the trend of at least 2 strikeouts every inning for Jade Peterson. That's number 8.
With Bianca then 3 identical swings, and she was looking down the track towards the pitcher. Just needs to track the ball a little bit longer, I'd suggest.
Aaron Reed. Chelsea Robinson opened up the inning with the bunt and then advanced on a throwing error. She got to third, and then Desi Giamorales knocked her in with some contact. She got to first on an error, and then she's now standing at third after Sophie Roberts had a hit, and the fielder's choice got Jenny Gray aboard.
If they get out of this with 1 run, they've done well, and they've done very well.
9th strikeout of the day for Jade Peterson. So Glenelg get themselves into trouble, but they only allow the 1 run. We're through 4. It's a tight one.
Lead-off scores in that innings, and then they've just tightened up, haven't they? Full credit to Glenelg then.
Yeah, they were in strife if they could tick around to the top of the order for Walkerville. Sophie King on deck batter, but 3 of the last 4 batters struck out from Jade Peterson.
So Walkerville have their noses in front. Tamika Penglaze, Gemma Cochrane, and Eden Lappage due up for Glenelg. This is a 7-inning game, or 2 hours, or an hour and a half, whatever comes first. This game started at 2 o'clock. We're only 50 minutes through, and we've played 4 innings, so it's moving at a nice little pace so far this game. Let's see what Mikayla Yankovic can do so far. Just the 1 base runner allowed on the day, and it was a walk back in the 3rd inning. She's got 4 strikeouts.
Looks like Bianca Ramsey's come out of the game. Aaron Reed's moved to centre field, and the right fielder, Erin Stone.
So Erin Stone enters the ball game. She'll take over at right field. We'll try to get an update maybe from David Muggleton if he's still floating around about if that was an injury or not. Penglace leads things off for the Rebels. They got to get something going. They just got out of a bases loaded jam to keep themselves with a shot. Swinging at the first pitch.
Not a bad tactic. I think you said it earlier. She had a lot of first pitch strikes. Mikayla Yankovic.
She has all day. She's only faced 1 batter over the minimum in this game. She's trusted the field a lot. 3 6-3 putouts and 3 5-3 putouts in this contest.
That's what you've got to do when you can't blow them away, isn't it? Just use your field.
Obviously starting to develop a pitcher-catcher relationship with Chelsea Robinson as well, so she's drawing on all of her experience and knowledge of the game. We've seen a lot of good change-ups as well that are starting to find in and around the strike zone, and that in particular, that last one.
chopped in the air. It's going foul. Robinson, sure-handed as ever.
It was an exact replica of the last time Tamika was up to bat, but it was Sophie Roberts that took the catch in foul territory.
It's almost an identical spot. Gemma Cochrane. Hard hit ball down the line. That one just goes foul. Starting to make some harder contact now. There hasn't really been a rocket hard hit ball yet versus Mikayla Yankovic, has there?
Yeah, just looking at the score sheet, there's a couple of good plays in the field, particularly on the left side.
Slow roller, picked up, but foul. Still a nice play from Sophie Roberts.
Yeah, lucky for Gemma, it didn't go into play with that throw. These two girls, Gemma Cochrane and Chelsea Robinson, were in the same team that I was talking about, the under-19 champions in 2015. Now they're playing against each other.
Chopped swing, and then she does just enough to get strikeout number 5 of the day.
Tried to hold her hands back, unsuccessfully though.
Good start to the day for Mikayla Yankovic. She retired her first 7. Then she allowed a walk, and now she's retired her next 7. Eden Lappage still yet to find a hit from the bottom of this lineup, and oh! Jenny Gray reaches over and robs a hit from Aiden Lappage.
Great catch, good reflexes for Jenny Gray. She tracks the ball to her left and takes it glove side. Shoestring catch as well.
5 innings through and only the 1 walk allowed from Mikayla Yankovic in a really nice start. It'll be 3rd time through the order, though, for Walkerville on a team that's hard to keep down, isn't it?
Yes, that's it.
Well, even when they were facing a very imposing opposition in Port Adelaide in round 1, they still managed to generate hits and runs against Yo Grauer, and then last week against Harper Bridley and an experienced West Torrens lineup. They just jumped them and managed to put 10 on the board. So I said at the top of the show, they've got a good lineup, they've got some good bats, and so you're never going to hold them down to just a couple of runs in a game.
James, at the top of the game, you said that you needed their defense to step up and play a lot better. They've been solid on the left side so far, and that last play you saw to end the inning from Jenny Gray makes the difference.
Yeah, when you're tidy in the field, you can go into a batting inning with a little bit of momentum, a good feeling, and you can roll with it, and then you can pour on a couple of runs.
One of just a couple hits today comes from the bat of Sophie King. It took a weird skip and a bounce off the infield. It was a hard one to handle on Meegan Wheatley back in the 3rd inning. She lays down the bunt and she can run. Sophie King flying down the line. It was a tough throw, and Sophie King will settle at first, and she's aboard once again.
She had to do some negotiation with that running up the first base line as she had to avoid the ball, and the bat nearly dropped onto the ball as well, but she does have some wheels and gets there safely. So a second safe bunt, you'd say?
Yeah, I think she would have got there just in time. You take a look at the leading team's replay, and by the time that throw was not even at the glove yet, she had stepped on the bag. So Sophie King, who has some serious speed, will settle on base, and Steph Collett can try to drive her home and provide a bit of breathing space for young Mikayla Yankovic in the circle. She was showing bunt too.
Well, I think you keep it going, wouldn't you? Just you've got the lead, you've got 1 run in front.
2 of the 3 safe hits have come from the bunts.
Yep. Play the percentages. As I've said many times before, boys, the state of the game will dictate what you need to do as a coach. And that would have been delightful to bunt down.
Last inning, though, don't forget, with 1 out, it was bases loaded for Walkerville. And it was strikeout for Jade Peterson. She's got 9 on the day, and she's ahead 0-2. Just outside.
Yeah, just testing, wasn't it? Just nibbling away that pitch.
Entering the day, she had 29 strikeouts. She's 2 away from 40 already, and we're 3 weeks into the season.
Double play attempt as Sophie King steals safely on the strikeout for Steph Collett. So make it 10 on the season, on the game.
10 on the game, 39 on the season. Take a look at the leading team's replay. A good throw over there, but a good job of Sophie King to slide in. Danger bat, though, 1 out, runner in scoring position. Chelsea Robinson. She can use her wheels if she's required. Do you still play small ball here, or do you let her swing the bat?
I'll let her swing, Chelsea.
1 for 2 on the day. She's scored the lone run on some heads-up base running all across the board, whether it be for her getting from first to second and second to third. Sophie King going again. Courtney Shepard tangled up just a little bit. She can't make the throw. Now you've got a runner on third.
2 stolen bases for King, including standing up at third base unopposed.
Robinson has a good crack. That goes foul. Still lots of time for Glenelg to come back, but it will start to become a factor soon. 0-2 count. Just outside, good eyes from Chelsea Robinson.
Yeah, good pitch from Peterson, and even better eyes from Robinson.
Yeah, patient batting, isn't it? He's got a runner at third. Makes the ball land, it'll score.
Just under it a bit, fighting off the sun. Gemma Cochrane makes the play, holds the runner at third, and once again, they're just 1 out away of getting out of a jam. Desi G. Morales.
Well, they're going for catcher's interference here, I think.
We saw one of those on Wednesday night.
Wednesday night, yep. That sounded like to me the bat hit the glove as it did on Wednesday night. I wouldn't be surprised if that's...
Here's a look at the leading team's replay. Chelsea Robinson.
Yep, that's what it is.
So she'll go to first base instead. Catcher's interference called, and that changes things in this inning, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you know, this could really change the outcome of the game with, instead of 2 outs, we go to 1 out with 2 runners on, with batters 4 and 5 up to bat. Batters 4 and 5 obviously known for RBI abilities.
Jade Peterson was in a bases loaded 1 out situation in just the previous inning, and she dodged, ducked, and dove her way out of that situation.
Is that such a word, dove?
Yeah, I reckon Patches O'Houlihan used to use that terminology as
the famous dodgeball coach, Patches O'Houlihan.
I haven't seen that film, thank goodness.
We're just having a look at the leading team's replay of that catcher's interference, and you can see that Robinson's bat tips the glove of Shepard. So she's just tucked in pretty tight to those batters. So she just needs to adjust her catching stance a little. If she's done one on Wednesday night, she's done one today, yeah, just take half a step back, or, you know, where the batter stands might determine where your catching position is.
2 runners in scoring position.
Well, it hasn't hurt yet.
The strikeout queen ahead in the count. Hard hit ball over to the left side. That's foul. Desi Gia Morales lives to fight another pitch.
Seen a couple of 1-3 split situations here defensively for Glenelg, where the second base player cuts it off to make sure that runner from third doesn't score, just allowing an easy base for Chelsea Robinson, who stole across. So both runners in scoring position. Hit by pitch.
That would have stung.
Yeah, it's hit the back elbow of Gia Morella, so no protection there as she almost went to check swing, and so it was just exposed. And she'll advance to first. Tough character, Desi Gia Morales, leading teams replay. You have a look at the back elbow right on the point as well. So loaded bases for the Walkerville's RBI leader for would have been the last couple of seasons, I reckon.
She's come up clutch in a lot of big games, Sophie Roberts. Bases loaded. And a tough customer at the plate. For the second straight inning, bases loaded and 1 out. Swing and a miss.
Terrific pitch, wasn't it?
Just moments ago, we thought it was runners on third and 2 outs before the catcher's interference was called, and has changed the entire complexion of the inning for both of these squads. Roberts swings through it, and she's up to 2 strikes.
This is almost suiting Peterson. We saw the short games, what's done the damage so far for the Cats. But the swinging away hasn't done too much for the Cats at all, except for 10 strikeouts.
Make it 11.
Outstanding.
3 of them with bases loaded. Jade Peterson keeping her team in it. And now it's 2 outs with Kelsey Barker coming to the plate. She struck out twice already today.
Well, different sort of batter here. Look at the outfield. Amber Dodd-Mobius will get hit by a plane landing shortly. She's far too deep. You've got to come in and catch this ball. If it lands, there's 2 runs.
Lee referring to the Adelaide Airport, just a stone's throw over the top of Harbour Town.
Big moment for Kelsey Barker. Glenelg trying to keep this a 1-run game. Swing and a miss. And Jade Peterson races out in front. She's got 11 strikeouts on the day, 3 of them with bases loaded. It's been a masterful performance to this point. And it just continues. 12 strikeouts, 4 of them with bases loaded, and Walkerville are held to nothing.
The last 6 outs have been, last 8 outs have been strikeouts for Jade Peterson. Make it the last 6. Last 6. I'm looking at my scorecard, and she's just thrown so many already. So 12 strikeouts in 5 innings. So all but 3 outs have been strikeouts.
And most of the runners have come from errors in the field.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Mikayla Yankovic just quietly going about her business. She's through 5 innings. She's allowed just the 1 base runner by virtue of a walk. She's trusted her field a lot. She's got 5 strikeouts of her own. Bottom of the lineup coming up for Glenelg. Surely they've got to feel good, though, with some momentum going their way after getting out of 2 jams to just give them a chance in this game. All of a sudden, it's shaped up to be a very intriguing pitcher's duel from a savvy vet and a younger player in Mikayla Yankovic, just in her first year as a full-time starter.
Yeah, it's the reverse, isn't it, with the 2 sides? It's the young pitcher, Mikayla, pitching to the experienced catcher in Chelsea, and vice versa. It's the experienced pitcher with Jade pitching to the inexperienced Courtney.
Laura Helbig steps up to bat. She was the last player that's reached for Glenelg. Since then, it's been 9 up and 9 down, or 8 up and 8 down, sorry. Laura Helbig trying to keep the party going, and she gets the first hit of the game off Mikayla Yankovic, so the no-hit bid comes to an end. Laura Helbig is pumped up.
Right, the right moment for the Rebels, leading teams replay. A shot straight up the middle. Great hands to the ball off the Eastern Ghost. And she will stand safely aboard on first for Glenelg. It's come at the right time as well, trailing by 1.
Must bunt here.
Kayla Botha showing bunt. Tries to throw down the line, and Laura Helbig standing up. Lee Hole loves it.
That was very interesting. Robinson's gone to pick off at first. Laura Helbig's taken off for second, so a stolen base. Leadoff has moved into scoring position.
I'd still bunt.
Botha, contact over towards second. Moving in on it was Desi Gia Morales, first out.
Repeat of earlier message.
Well, back to the top of the lineup. Third time through versus a young pitcher.
The dancing queen.
Bree McGee, Meegan Wheatley are the next two up with a runner in scoring position. Just the 2 hits so far for Bree McGee. Down towards the third base line. That's foul.
Just got to be patient here, the Glenelg girls. See a runner there in the scoring position, and Laura, just bat sensibly, get the one you want.
Eric, both her hits have come with runners in scoring position.
She's got one now.
That was a good pitch.
She's behind 0-2. Laura Helbig, the only woman in the Glenelg lineup that's been able to get on base today. She's reached in both of her appearances. The entire other team, a combined 0 for 16. McGee stays alive.
Got to stay out of that high stuff. That's only going to finish high, isn't it? She gets jammed up, it'll just pop up in the infield like Kayla's did. Good batting.
Grounded over towards short. Knocked down by Collett. She can't make a play. It's runners on the corners.
Coach will be out on this.
She's looking for the interference.
Let's look at the leading team's replays. The coach has a chat. The runner did go in front of the fielder before. She had an attempt to field it. Then she bobbled it. So the question's been asked. It's now been referred to the third base umpire. Reverse angle shows McGee will arrive safely. It's now a question of whether the runner has caused interference or it didn't impact her fielding the ball. Let's have a look. That's a change-up. It'll be off the second bounce. Helbig makes the decision to go. Now she obstructs the view of the fielder, but she doesn't make contact with the fielder.
That's a tough call to make, isn't it? I don't think anything will change. Bree McGee stands on first. Andy Collett still having a discussion down the third base line. Nat Brinkworth has moved over there as well. She was standing there coaching, but now the umpires are going to confer. And normally when this happens, you usually get a bit of a reversal, don't you?
I think they're going to reverse it for sure. So, what do you think, Derek?
Just asking the question of one of our scoring team to our left as we see the umpires on screen. We're about 70 minutes into the game, so we've still got 20 minutes to go. We are in the top of the 6th.
This could be a critical out, though. Again, it's the difference between, just like the last inning we saw, of having one runner on and 2 outs, or 1 out and 2 runners on. I don't think anything's changed.
Here's another look at it as we see Helbig cross in front.
That's an impossible play for Collett, isn't it?
That's what it looks like on this, but they haven't got the benefit of this, of the replays.
So Meegan Wheatley with runners on the corner. Watches one slip away. It's ball 1. The heart of the lineup coming up for Glenelg.
So question, do you give that a single to the shortstop?
That's what I have. Whether it's right, it's another thing.
Wheatley swings through. It looks like no matter what happens, well, we'll have to see. As we are here in the top of the 6th, Walkerville will get to bat again.
Lee, surprised there hasn't been a short game for the Rebels?
Wheatley to the outfield. Caught by Sophie King. She's going to make a play at home.
Throw.
Robinson makes the tag and gets the out.
Cup that.
It's a double play, and that is going to end the threat for Walkerville. They don't even realize
that's the third out.
That's the third out.
Leading teams replay. Meegan Wheatley crushed this one to the left side, but Sophie King's fielding shallow. That'll make Lee Hull happy. And she come up firing as soon as the catch was made, knowing that Helbig was tagging up. One bounce into the safe glove of Robinson, makes the tag at the plate. That was the tying run coming in.
That will go down as one of the plays of the game. A catch and then throw her out. I would love to see that all again. Here's a good look at the play. Helbig coming in, throw on the money, and Chelsea Robinson clearly gets that tag in before the plate. So they went from having 2 runners on with 1 out, and in one swing of the bat, both of them are retired as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
Gee, Walkerville's defense holding up tight today. They leaked a couple of runs. Well, they leaked a lot of runs in their first game, 13 against, then 6 against in their win against West Torrens. But today, they've been terrific off the back of Mikayla Yankovic, who has thrown, 5 strikeouts, but that was the only inning where she'd allowed a hit. She gave up 2 hits, and they got out of it with a terrific double play.
Oh, yeah.
An unbelievable double play after they had protested what the call on the field was just moments earlier. It all comes out in the wash.
There's been some action, hasn't there, in this game? The score 1-0, but despite that, look at the action. Sophie King, what a class act.
At the center of the action has been the woman in the circle, Jade Peterson, who's going to get ahead after a foul tip. Walkerville again trying to get on base with a bunt. That's how they've done it twice today. But Jade Peterson has 12 strikeouts.
She's been given out batting out of the box. Not batting out of the box. She's run into the ball. Lee, what do you call that? As it just escapes me for the moment. But the replay would show it. But when she bunted the ball, she went to take off. She made connection with the ball as she was running out of the batter's box. So here it is. Nice work from producer Brandon, as a great bunt from Jenny Gray, and as she steps out of the box, she runs into the ball. So,
geez, this would be a good teaching game to have on video and show scores of things that have happened, whether it be a catcher's interference or a potential runner's interference or running into the ball out of the box. A lot of quirky things happening in this game. But what's not quirky is Jade Peterson throwing strikes, which she does once again. It's a 1-1 count. Versus Bianca Ramsey, she struck out twice. Oh, it's a pinch hitter.
Erin Stone, who came in.
That's right.
For Ramsey, last fielding inning, and great defensive games from both teams. It's their best defensive games for both sides of the year so far. Glenelg giving up 33 runs in their first 4 games, and today they've been terrific.
And the 1 run they almost had was thrown out at the plate just minutes ago. It's turned into an interesting contest, hasn't it?
It certainly has, all the way.
Well, a rare walk issued. That's the first one of the day from Jade Peterson.
Second of the game.
Second one?
Yeah, Laura Helbig in the 3rd inning for Glenelg.
She's on her. They're on the same team.
Second of the game for combined. But the first of the game for Peterson.
Oh, gee. Anybody got a coin? We'll toss it up.
Play over at second. This could be close, and she's got her. Defense shining through again. Shepard with a great throw. Gets the second out of the inning.
Yeah, great play from Shepard, leading teams replay. Reed did the right thing, covered and showed bunt. Great throw over to shortstop Meegan Wheatley to complete the out. That's the first runner she's thrown out for the season.
Well, she's quick, Erin Stone. I have no problem with her stealing then. But it was a lovely throw.
Well, unless something crazy happens, in all likelihood, we will get to play all 7 innings as Aaron Reed steps in here. It's only 3:16. Game's 90 minutes, no new innings after 85. Aaron Reed up to bat. Jade Peterson This is the only inning where she hasn't retired a batter via strikeout. She's got 12 strikeouts in the 6 innings.
She has a big track record of striking out batters 7, 8, and 9 in any team like that.
13 on the day. What a tremendous performance from Jade Peterson.
Unlucky 13 for the Cats. They are denied from Peterson and defense standing up for the Rebels with a great throw over from Courtney Shepard to get the walked batter in Aaron Stone.
We head to the 7th inning, which means if Glenelg do not score in this game, it will be the end of it, or in this inning, that will be the end of the game. And it would be almost unlucky for Jade Peterson, who did everything she could. I think the run is going to be unearned that she allowed. Some errors in the mix. Either way, 13 strikeouts and a tremendous performance from Jade Peterson has given her team every chance to win. Mikayla Yankovich has been excellent as well. She's allowed just 2 hits and walked 1. And a play at the plate.
Peterson may still have influence over the game yet, as she's the on-deck batter. Courtney Shepard will lead things off. Then Peterson. 2 hits, both coming last inning. So we spoke about that third time through the lineup. You know, sometimes you'd like to see something different if you're the defensive coach. We've seen Riley Moore warming up in the bullpen.
7th and final inning. An intriguing game here at West Beach on beautiful Ghana land. Just the 1 run scored all the way back in the 4th inning. Chelsea Robinson played some small ball and used her legs to get around the diamond, but since then, just a barrage of wacky, quirky, and fantastic defensive moments. The biggest one coming from the Sophie King catch, who gunned down the runner to end the 6th inning in a double play. Jenny Gray's made a couple nice plays at first. Two-0 count. Hard hit up the middle. Glenelg have a runner aboard to lead off the 7th.
4th hit of the season for Shepard, and she broke up the no-hitters. Both the games against Port Adelaide, 1 hit each game for Glenelg, both coming off the bat of Courtney Shepard. That's her 4th hit of the year. Her other hits have come off Georgia Hood, so Yo Grauer and now Jade Peterson. So that's some pretty good pitching that she's got some hits against.
Tells me a story about it.
Peterson showing bunt, runner retreats. 13 strikeouts from Peterson in the game.
I was just going to say both, but most importantly, the 4th hits come when the game is on the line and Shepard is aboard, lead off on first, batters 4, 5, 6 to bring her round.
Hot shot from Peterson, back to the wall, it falls in front. It's bounced off the wall, that had double written all over it, but Shepard's held up at second, which means Peterson needs to stay at first.
Eastern Ghost in action there from Jade Peterson off the leading team's replay. Couple of bounces into the fence. Now, the reason why Shepard didn't get to third is that she was holding up thinking, well, this might be a catch. So there she is on the leading team's replay, is that she was only able to take a couple of steps around second.
You can see the reaction from Jade Peterson. She's now got a hit to complement her tremendous day in the circle. 2 runners on, nobody out. Penglay's, Cochrane, and Lappage for, again, we ragged on this earlier in the game, that batters 6, 7, 8, and 9 for Glenelg have yet to record a hit this season. They're going to probably need one, or heading into the game at least.
Tamika's got a bunt hit.
And Laura Helbig broke that up earlier, but they're going to need to come up big, won't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tamika, all she needs to do is get around early and just put the ball in the play, let these runners go in the scoring position.
She swings at the first pitch.
Confidently as well, and she's a bit dirty on herself that she missed it because it was there to be hit. And geez, either getting the ball on the deck or putting one into the outfield's going to do the job.
That's why I say bunt. Just put the ball on the deck. Let them run.
It's over towards third. Roberts steps at third. Can she turn two? Yes!
And that's cost you a double.
The second double play in as many innings. The tying run still in scoring position. But Walkerville defense again.
I'm just updating my scorecard before I make comment here. Leading team's replay, it was a hard shot to the third base of Sophie Roberts. She plays her own base and then fires it across to first to complete the 5-3
Cochrane
double.
up the middle, a diving attempt, rounding third. Glenelg have tied the game. Gemma Cochrane drives in Peterson.
Third hit of the inning from 4 batters. Even a hard hit shot from Tamika Penglace. The Rebels seeing it well the third time through the lineup. Just missing the glove of the diving Steph Collett. Reed was in close. So it was Sophie King that had to field it in deep center field. And Gemma Cochrane stands up at second, so a runner in scoring position still for the Rebels as Jade Peterson crosses the plate for the tying run.
Some of those double plays looming very large right now. As Eden Lappage comes in here. Games in this competition can end in a draw if that is tied after 7 innings. So Glenelg really do need to score a run if they have any chance of winning this game. Lappage swings through. She's behind 0-2. Hear Laura Helbig cheering her on. She hasn't got out this game, Laura Helbig. She's on deck. Huge at-bat for Lappage. Leaves it up high.
This young player for the Rebels has only had a handful of games in the Premier League.
And she strikes out.
Great pitching from Mikayla Yankovic to close it out. So 7 innings, she only gave up the 1 run. So she has done her job for the Cats. Now it's her batters to finish it.
Well, Jade Peterson played a big role. She scored the run. She struck out 13. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. If Walkerville failed to score, it'll go down as our first draw of the season. If they do score a run, as soon as that happens, this ball game is over.
How's the defense for the Cats so far in the last 2 innings with their backs to the wall, runners in scoring position? They've come up with 2 double plays to deny Glenelg. But 3 hits in that 7th inning, including a big double from Gemma Cochrane, an RBI double to score Jade Peterson. It's fitting that it was Peterson that crossed the plate as well.
It's had everything, this game, hasn't it? It's had everything. Not a lot of runs, as we can see what the score is, 1 apiece. But everything else, catches interference.
The throw out at home is looming very large right now. That would have been what could have been the go-ahead run, looking back at it in hindsight. But Sophie King will lead things off. She's been a tough out. Jade Peterson has struck out 13 in this game. One of those has not been Sophie King. In fact, she's struck out a lot of batters, my goodness. But Sophie King has reached on a bunt. She's reached on an infield hit to 6. So 2 for 3.
2 of the top 3 players of the game going head-to-head here.
And she lays down the bunt again. It'll be a tough play. Peterson to first, and it's bobbled.
That's pressure. That's when you put the bunt down if you got leg speed, which Sophie has, obviously.
That one might go down as an error because I think she had a read out.
Leading team's replay sees that Peterson does the fielding, and it was a low throw, but it's tough to change directions for a second base player to get over to first as quickly as you can, stop, try and field the ball, and lead off on for the Cats. They could stay short, small ball here, advancing King, maybe stolen base attempts because she stole 2 last time she was running.
Steph Collett up to bat.
I'm going stolen base.
Winning run is at first base. And Collett is ahead in the count.
Well, the
Well, now it's
outfield
1-1.
message of the outfield, don't play deep. You've got to not let the ball land. If it goes over your head, so be it.
Bunt in the air, trying to make a play on it was Courtney Shepard. It just drifted too far away, but Peterson is ahead of her.
Well, that would have caught the Glenelg defense napping a little because Collett has been swinging away. That one goes foul, and a life also for Collett.
Call it, hot shot, left field, backing into it, misplayed in the left field. Sophie King pushing for third. She's gonna step in there, she's gotta go home. Could this be the game? It is! It's a walk-off for Walkerville. Steph Collett drives in Sophie King, and Walkerville escaped this one.
Great shot from Collett. She just smashes it to deep left field. Lapich didn't have much time to make up ground, and then she has to retrieve the ball, slight fumble, and then that was enough for Sophie King to cross the plate.
Steph Collett was pushing on Sophie King the entire way.
She stands up at third. The play was always going to be at the plate, and Walkerville, a sigh of relief from King as she crosses the plate.
What a performance from Jade Peterson, who had 13 strikeouts in the game. This game literally had it all, but it probably comes down to those two double plays that Walkerville made in the 6th and 7th inning. One, a catch him out, throw him out at home, and then the step on third, throw across the diamond from Sophie Roberts. Such an impressive performance, wasn't it, James?
Yeah, Sophie King, stand up. You had a game today. That double play, the catch in the outfit, and then to throw to deny Glenelg's first run.
Sophie King, surely we've got to hear from, you'd think, from...
Couple of stolen bases as well, and then she was the winning run. So great performance. But you'll look down the lineups from both teams, and they were quite solid performances from both. Defensively, both teams were better than they had been previously in the season. But
heartbreaking for Glenelg.
I was just going to say those exact words. It was heartbreaking for Glenelg because a little bit of red in both the innings that they gave up runs. So they have got some promising signs to be a bit more competitive throughout the season.
13 strikeouts from Jade Peterson. Was she ever fun to watch today, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was terrific, and then she came up with that big hit, clutch in the 7th. She was the winning run of the game, the one run that Glenelg scored when she crossed the plate.
Well, looking forward to hearing what David Muggleton has in store for us. He's got Sophie King, our player of the game. David, Sophie, down to you. Let's try this again, David Muggleton. There we go. We can hear you
Okay,
now.
sorry, we're back again. So just asked this game, how are the nerves?
Yeah, a bit shaky after that one. That was a tight game, really good finish.
Now, Jade Peterson in a new position out there, she was absolutely blasting them at you. What's it like facing Jade Peterson in this new format?
Hey, she's a gun, whatever team she's pitching for. Yeah, I mean, different uniform, same tough pitching.
Now, it looked like you guys transitioned into a bit more small ball about halfway through the game. Was that to accommodate the fact that you weren't getting many hits on Jade?
Yeah, absolutely. Just felt like we had to get the ball into play and try and make some stuff happen.
Now, Walkerville defense was coming up pretty strong. You happy with all of that?
Yeah, looks good. Couple double plays there. So, yeah, good defense there.
Nice. And how's the team kind of structuring for the season, do you think?
We had a bit of a change today from what we've had the last few weeks, but we're just trying a few different things out. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Dave. Sophie King, she's come up clutch in so many big games over the last few years, and today was no different. She had that great catch and that great throw. That was the difference maker, and she scores the winning run flying around the base paths, and that leaves us with the final score. What a tremendous affair we had in game number 1. Walkerville defeat Glenelg in game 1 of the tripleheader. On behalf of Lee Holt, James Harris, David Muggleton, everybody around the diamond, and of course, producer Brandon. We'll see you very shortly for game number 2. Walkerville 2, Glenelg 1.